Hello guys, what is going on? RTR here, and today I am going to start off a series that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, but just have never gotten around to it, as Controller is kind of stale at the moment, waiting for the new map. Hopefully it should be announced soon, but as it's stale, I decided I wanted to do something different, and I also have plans to join a new faction server that's coming out that's led by some very well-known factions, or not factions, but server owners, and a very popular network that has been rather successful in the soup community and stuff like that, are trying out factions at this point. But I figured now would be a great time to start a tutorial series to kind of help with some of those people that are coming from the soup and PvP community and maybe transferring over to factions, not knowing exactly what certain things are. In this series, I want to be covering buffers, bases, glitchers, walls and roofs, and other defenses, how to gen those defenses, how to get money in an efficient and speedy way, and membership and faction management. And the first episode in this series is actually going to be buffer management. And for those of you who don't know what a buffer is, a buffer is basically a secondary faction made of alternate accounts, so accounts that you may own, or accounts that maybe have friends that quit or something like that. But it's used to give yourself a little bit more claims in factions to prevent you from being raided as easily and from people being able to build as close to you. And the benefits of these are basically just makes your base a whole lot safer, and it also allows you to build a little bit more in your claims. And I'm going to go into depth on how to set those up and why you should go about setting those up, as well as some things to take into account when you're claiming your buffer so as not to get it overclaimed, as well as tools to use in order to claim your buffer successfully and allow it and make it so that you can easily log in the accounts every 8 days, every 9 days, whatever you need to do, so that the accounts are not kicked from the server for an activity. Alright, so real quickly, I actually wasn't able to record this part because every time I tried to with Fraps, the kind of file gets corrupted. But there's a program called Minecraft Console Client on online. It's on the minecraftforum.net. If you look up Minecraft Console Client, basically it's a program that allows you to log in your accounts through a chat window, sort of like MC Chat for Android or mobile devices. And it's really helpful for logging accounts when you're running a grinder or a farm and need to AFK it. You can set up bat files, you can set up scripts, you can set up stuff like that using it, all text-based of course, you can't really move around with it, but it's a really good way to log your buffer accounts in, and it's a really good way to AFK your grinders, so I highly recommend it. Again, Minecraft Forum, just look up in Google Minecraft Console Clients, it should pop up. The original one is by Aurelio, and it is 100% safe. I use it all the time. I would not trust any other renditions of it that you find on other random websites, just trust the one on minecraftforum.net by Aurelio. And again, I highly recommend it. Use it all the time on Controller for logging accounts, and it is a great tool. Alright, so now we're going to go into how to properly claim your base and make sure that you are no longer, you will not be overclaimed and things like that, and make sure your base is properly claimed so that no matter what, on whatever buffer limit or whatever there is on the server, then you are safe. They can't bypass your walls in any way using your claims to shoot closer or anything like that. And basically what we're going to do with that is making sure we have enough accounts to handle the base size, as well as handle the amount of power we actually have, so that we're within about 30 power, so just in case something happens with maybe 3 accounts, your buffer still doesn't go claimable. I like to keep, so say a max buffer power on Controller would be about 300 by default, not counting any power boosts the accounts might have. I usually like to keep my power 270 or under that's used for a buffer faction, just in case maybe an account I have access to, somebody changes a password, changes a name, I don't have access to that account anymore. I can have some time to maybe find another account to deal with that. And here we have an arrangement for a 20 chunk buffer for a 2x2 base, as well as some small corner defenses claims. This would allow you to have about 8 pillars on your first walls. And basically this is a 20, 40, wait, no, that's 40, 80, 120, 160 plus the 4, so 164 plus the 4 in the middle, 168 claim base, plus nether claims. At minimum you're going to need at least 1 claim, so 169 claims. For this base, that's actually not that bad. You would need, at a minimum, I'd call it 18 accounts. That would give you 11 power to do whatever what you wish. but I would go with 20 accounts just to be safe, 21 accounts. But if you had a 10-man faction, each person had an alt, you could pull this design relatively easily. And if you had a few more accounts, you could even add some corner claims here. And that sort of thing. And this is, I'll go into these corner defenses and why these are important in the next episode when I cover defenses and some of the upgraded defenses for the proper cannon tech. Last time I made a defense video, I wasn't too filled in on a lot of some of the cannon tech, so there's a little bit of some different things now that you may want to go over. But anyway, this is a basic claim setup for somebody that doesn't have any buffer factions or has a small amount of alts or a large faction with no alts. Again, this is a 2x2 design. You can also go with a 1x1 and that'd be much less claims. But I would also recommend finding a way to claim down the sides here. And I'll go over that in a second when I cover actual buffers. Alright, so here we have a proper claim setup using an actual buffer, and basically this is a 20 alt faction. There's 192 claims in the red. The red would be your buffer, and the white would be your main faction. Or you could also even, at the ends of the buffers, what we do on Controller is make the end of the buffers the buffer as well. So we replace the last 3 chunks with our buffer faction. So even if the buffer faction were to go over claimable, they still have a 17 chunk shot on our base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 onwards to 17. That's 17 chunks right there, 18, 19, 20. And even if our buffer were to go over claimable, we still have a decent amount of walls in the way of the base to either move or do whatever we're going to do. And for this buffer on the 2x2, you would need another 20 accounts, which honestly isn't too difficult if you know anything about possible account quote-unquote borrowing, if you could migrate some friends' accounts or something. Or if you just have the money to buy your own accounts or buy accounts from people who have quit. I personally picked up about 4, I think, accounts off a player from OG who quit for $40 for all 4 accounts, and then I was able to change the names when the name changes came out. So all in all, a really good deal, and they have some resale value now that the names can be changed. So if you were to ever quit, you can always sell the accounts. Personally, I've spent not a huge amount on my accounts, mostly from friends and stuff like that. So it isn't too hard to obtain them. But here you can see we have some extra claims on the corners here that you can do whatever you want with. 16, 32, 48, 64, 70 extra blocks coming out from the base, 70 by 70 divided by 2 area to do whatever you'd like. In here you can put farms, you can put corner defenses depending on if the server you're playing on has active left shooters, and I'll go into that on defenses and guides on how to defend. But here you can see this buffer has a lot more protection on the walls, and if you were to put a wraparound, which is basically, so say this is your main base, a wraparound would be an extra wall that completely covers the main base like this. So say you have a 1x1 base right here, a wraparound would be an extra wall that just covers that base again. And basically these claims on the side protect the corners of your wraparound. So say this was your wraparound, but this right here, these 2 blocks weren't claimed, you could shoot in here, stack sand backwards, and hybrid right there. So you always want to make sure the corners of your wraparounds are covered with walls and claims, as well as protected. So all in all, I think that's about it for covering buffers, and I hope you guys found this episode helpful in some way. Again, I will be starting a new series. I'm probably going to be putting out a new video daily, and yeah, so anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like at, I think we'll call it 60 likes. I'll release the defenses video, and it'll be an upgrade version of the one I released a while ago. And the next video after that will probably be genning and stuff like that. And one of those videos will include some defenses against glitchers. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like, and I'll see you next time.